Hi everybody, it's Kerry here at the North East Autism Society, and I have with me again the lovely Danny and Hayley from the Life Science Centre. Are you okay, guys?
I'm good, thank you. Hello everyone.
Good, thank you. Hello.
So Hayley and Danny today are going to be showing us soap-powered sea life, which sounds super exciting. I don't know what this entails. So I'm sure some of our young people will love this, Danny. So I'll hand over to you and you can show us what we need to do.
Thank you very much. First thing I'm going to do is readjust my camera so I can show my setup. So we'll come to this stuff in a moment, but first we're going to make our sea life. So I'm using some corrugated card from a delivery box. I'm just going to cut off a rectangle and very quickly draw a fish. It doesn't have to be super neat.
Okay, so this could be any fish. It could be a shark or a
Exactly, yeah. I'm just doing
Nemo fish.
Yeah, you could do Nemo. You could do your favorite, whatever your favorite kind of fish is, really. So there we've got our fish.
Great.
But before I cut it out, I'm also going to draw on a very narrow slit at the back because we'll need to cut that out as well for the next step. So here we go. And this is all very rough. It doesn't have to be measured to a particular shape or anything like that.
So for that slit, Danny, does it need to be a certain length? I know you said kind of rough, quite. Doesn't need to be an exact size. No?
So it's about maybe ½ centimetre wide, but I didn't measure it. I just kind of drew something that looked like it would work. And it's maybe 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres long, but again, it's just kind of roughly about that big on your fish, and that'll do. So now we need somewhere to launch our fish. So I'm going to fill my baking tray with water.
Is that just cold water?
It is,
Danny,
yeah.
or does it matter?
Yeah, it's just cold water from the tap. I've not added anything to it. There we go. Now, in a moment, I'm going to put the fish in the water and I'm going to make it go. And to make it go, we've got some washing up liquid. So I'm just going to pour a little bit into the lid so it's easier to access.
Ah, so you're going to make it move without touching it, Danny?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to be using some washing up liquid and I've got a spoon, but I'm just going to use the handle of it. So I'm going to dip that in some washing up liquid. So now that's ready to launch, so I can put the fish on, and I'm going to do a countdown from 3. Put the washing up liquid in that slit we cut, and we'll see what happens. So feel free to do a countdown with me. 3. Oh, it just went. What happened there was some washing up liquid actually fell off the spoon before I was ready. But you saw what was meant to happen, and it goes whoosh all the way across the tray.
That was super fast as well.
It took me by surprise. I'm going to refresh this water and set it up to have another go. In the meantime, Hayley, what's going on here?
Yeah, why is it doing that, Hayley? Because Danny didn't even touch the fish, did he? So what was happening?
Yeah, so the water is made of incredibly tiny molecules. And those molecules are kind of linked together. They're very close to each other. And they even pull on each other a little bit as well. And we call this pulling, this force, we call that surface tension. You might have heard of a kind of insect called a pond skater. And I've got a picture of one of those here that I can bring up to show you.
Ah, I've never seen one of them before.
Ah, yeah, these are a kind of insect that can use that surface tension to actually walk and move on the surface of the water. They don't just fall straight through. Another thing that surface tension does is I'm sure everyone has spilled some water at some point, and it forms kind of little blobs on the surface. It doesn't form squares or star shapes. It always forms these nice kind of round little blobs. Got a picture of that as well. This is just some rainwater on some leaves. and you can see all those nice round little blob shapes. It always does that because of that surface tension.
Okay, so that's what's happening with our fish in our baking tray.
When you put the bubbles in, when you put the washing up liquid in, that kind of disrupts that surface tension and makes those water molecules move away from each other, and that makes the fish zoom forwards through the water.
Oh, okay. So if you had a bigger fish, would it go slower?
That is a very good question. And it's something you could find out. So the great thing about this is you can change it. You can change what the fish are like and investigate what effect that has. And that's what all experiments are, really. You have an idea, you ask a question like you just did. What happens if it's a big fish? And then you test it out. I mean, we can give that one a go. So I've got some more cards.
You even had a prediction there as well, Kerry. You kind of asked a question and then went, "Oh, I wonder if it goes slower because it'd be bigger."
Yeah. Be interesting to see. So our young people could try this out with different sized fish, couldn't they? Different shaped fish.
Exactly. So here we go. I've made a bigger fish. Here's our first one.
Oh yeah,
much bigger. Okay.
It's a lot bigger. So let's. So I'm going to try and not drop the washing up liquid early this time. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Oh, this one. Oh, there we go. Very slow.
So my prediction was correct.
Yeah.
Still going.
It is, but just very slowly. So I guess because it's heavier, it's got more mass, so it's taking longer for it to move that kind of same distance. And it might, if we watched it for a long time, it might have made it all the way to the other side, or it might have run out of energy part way. So that's good. That's a good question. You might also think, what shapes are good? So we've done a big one and a small one, but they were both the same shape. They were kind of pointy at the front. But if you think about things that live in the sea, they're not all that same shape. Something like a hammerhead shark has a really wide front and then a really narrow back, or something like a pufferfish is basically a sphere, a ball. So you could do some other ones. Let me try and get this angle right.
Yeah. And you can get really creative with this, couldn't you?
That's what I was trying to show you.
Oh yeah, there we go. You can see them now.
Yeah, they've got different emotions as well, different facial expressions.
A shark that's looking quite scary. We've got this confused little puffer fish, and they're different shapes, but they've still got that slot at the back. So you could try them out, make a prediction, see what happens. You can launch 2 at the same time if you have someone else to work with. You could, as long as you do it at the same time, so you both put your washing up liquid in the slot at the same time, then the effect will work and they'll both whoosh across. If you do it one and then the other, that surface tension might have reduced so much that it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, so you've been taking you've been dumping that water out and replacing it, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. Every time I do it, I've swapped out the water. So yeah, we could change the size. You could change the shape of it. What else could you change? Is there anything else you could change? There's one final point we could give.
Well, you've been using just kind of cardboard from a box, but what about different materials? Maybe really thin paper? Might be quick with that one though. It might go soggy quite quickly. Or tin foil. Maybe you've got some recycling, some plastic in your recycling or something like that.
Yeah, you could do it with like a bit of a margarine tub or something like that. That could be a good one.
They're great ideas. So I think what we'd like to see really is families and the children and young people trying this at home, and it'd be really interesting to see the different shapes, sizes, and the different materials as well, and see what people come up with. And we'd love, if you do that, we'd love to see your videos and pictures of that as well, and what happened. You can be little mini scientists and do some experiments.
Exactly. Let us know what your predictions are, and let us know if your predictions were true or false, and then what sea creatures you come up with, all those kind of things.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for sharing that with us, Danny and Hayley. That was I'm going to go and try that actually and see what happens with my fish. So we'll see you next week. Bye, folks.
Yeah.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Bye.